working? Stream number 3. Giveaway. Oh, I don't want to say giveaway what? Hey, Rich, how's it going? Oh, god damn. I am tired. This has been a long, long morning. Close this. Alright, everybody's up and everybody's at 'em. I had to go to the bank. Thanks, Ron. You know, people in this state don't want your money. Never seen anything like it before. We went to go because I had to open up a new bank account here because I couldn't deposit any of my cash that I've had into our old bank account because it's a credit union in San Diego. So we go to open it up here. The first 3 banks we went to were like, we basically don't want your money, and like because they wanted like this crazy itinerary of stuff, and we had our bill, we had our electric bill, we had our lease, we had all this stuff, and they still didn't they said that because our driver's license address didn't match that we weren't able to do it. But eventually we got into a local bank and everything squared away. But pretty annoying that it was that much effort to just open a bank account and give them cash. We had a bunch of cash. Yeah, I would have gladly spent that money on a lot of other things like guitars. But how are you guys doing today? You guys doing all right? I'm excited here. I'm so tired, but things are looking up. I gotta pack up that green guitar in the next probably day or two and ship that thing back. Great guitar, but I don't see the point in having 2 of them. That's just me. But do you guys think I'm crazy for doing that? I don't know. My wife thinks I'm kind of crazy. She's like, "Why are you gonna give a free guitar back?" And I'm like, "Well, I don't know. I don't need it." Probably the only guitar player in the whole world that would ever do that. But the guys were kind of surprised when I told them I was going to do that too. They were very confused. They're like, "What's wrong with it?" I said, "There's nothing wrong with it. Like, it's a good guitar, but I have the other single cut, and I don't want to. I don't know. I don't want to have 2 of the same pretty much exact guitar." Although I was talking to Bob, and I think that the green one on clean, I think it cuts through a little better. I think there's a little more high end on it, but it's not enough for it to be like entirely different from the blue one. Yeah, I feel like it would have been a really, really, really bad move on my part if I sold that guitar. I wouldn't have felt right about that because if somebody was nice enough to give me a guitar, me turning around and then selling it, especially like that quick, oh, dude, that's a dick move. But I mean, I could have done that. I know people that would do that. I know a lot of people that would do that, but nah, that's not me. That's not my style. So I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen with that. They'll probably sell it, and somebody will get a really good deal on it. And I don't know. I don't expect anything else from them in the future, but we'll see how things go. They were crazy enough to send me one to begin with, so who knows what'll happen further down the road, as they say. But I was looking at the Gibson stock, not the actual stock on the stock market, just checking. There's actually a few that are available. That's very rare. There's a few standards. I was just at Sweetwater. Sweetwater used to be so much better. And I know you're in the UK, Rowan, but Sweetwater is basically like our Andertons. It's the place where everybody gets the most of everything, and they kind of have this deal where they get a lot of products, and they're the only shop in this country that will get them. Like the Quad Cortex, you can't buy that anywhere in America except at Sweetwater, or if you're lucky enough to get one used, but you're gonna pay like over $1,000 more if you want to go that route. But they had a used Les Paul Standard, and they have it right now if you want to go look at it. It's unburst, which is I think the best looking color out of the standards, and they want 2250 for it. It's kind of dinged up a little bit near the truss rod and the nut. And then there's another shop, American Musical, and they have an unburst, the same exact guitar, but they don't say how much it weighs, for $100 less than that. So if you're in the market for a Les Paul Standard, there's finally two of them in a decent finish that are available, and you got. It sucks that you have to jump on these things now, because the other ones it says they're not going to be doing stock until the earliest of like August 31st, and I don't know. It all depends where you are, what you want, and how big of a rush you're in, because this Gibson is so far behind. Haven't looked at any other kind of models from them though. You guys know I hate SGs, so I'm not going to be shopping for those anytime soon. But 335s and Les Pauls are harder to come by unless you want to buy a Murphy Labs. Spend six to $8,000 on one of those. Those are available, but standards and classics, nope, hard to come by. So, is there anything you guys would like to address before I start getting into some other stuff? Because I got a few things I want to talk about, but I like starting it off with you guys, the people that come in here and you talk regularly. I say every week that I shouldn't drink this stuff because I know it's bad for me. But then I get so tired, I end up drinking it anyway. All right, I guess if there is not really anything you guys would like to talk about, I'm going to talk about something I'm going to make a video on. I actually have to interview someone for this topic. I'm going to see when they are available, probably middle of next week, and I'll have that video out, a day or two after that. And I want to know what your guys' thoughts are on pandering that these companies do. Hey, James, Connecticut. I used to live close to there. Hey, Robbo. And when I say pandering, I mean, every month or every time this comes around, I see a lot of brands. They'll either put a rainbow in their logo or they'll say some kind of like generic thing, but they don't actually do anything to help the groups. And it's kind of like there's like cycles of it. Like this month it's going to be Pride. That's cool. And in a few months it'll be something else. I don't remember what one is next. I can't keep up with all of it. But then February it's this, and then March it's this, and then May it's this, and it feels like they're just always trying to look outwardly like they're the good guys and they're on everyone's side when they're really just they're doing this for money. And I bring it up because my little sister is she's gay, and she plays in this gigantic kind of orchestra like symphony thing as a trumpet player, and they're called the Big Gay Apple Band, and they're actually pretty decently, like, they get a decent size audience. They play Madison Square Garden half times of the Knicks and the Rangers and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. And I just want to like pick inside of other people's heads and be like, do you see this like for what it is? Do you appreciate it? Like, do you think this is doing more harm than good? Do you think this is doing any good? Do you think it's doing any bad? I don't know, because whenever I see like posts, I saw the guy from Mike and Mike's Guitar, and he made some post about it, and people in the comments were like, they're pretty brutal, man, like on both sides of it. Like, people are just vicious to each other. They're like, this is just garbage, da 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 da, like, you don't give a damn about this. And other people like, you're a fascist, you're a racist, you're a homophobe. And I'm like, this is why I don't talk about any of this stuff. Like, why I don't do any of it. I don't want to deal with it. I don't know why people put themselves in a position to deal with it. So I don't know. If you guys want to give me your kind of thoughts on this, and obviously I'm going to interview her because I feel like it's more pertinent to get it from somebody who is part of one of those groups, kind of their perspective on it. I find it very odd when the billion-dollar corporations get on board with things. That's when I start to think maybe their intentions might not be the purest, but that's just me. Yes, I can't repeat that, but yeah. Hopefully we have a decent second half of the season here. We'll be all right. Good old Metsies. Good old Metsies. I don't think I'm going to be able to see tomorrow's game, which kind of sucks, but it's been fun, and it's been fun trying to explain the rules of baseball to a 4-year-old. She doesn't understand why everybody doesn't get a turn to run around the bases whenever they get up to bat, and it's interesting. It's interesting to say the least. But outside of that, as far as the contest goes, I'm gonna basically this is how it's gonna work. It's not gonna be one question because that's not fair. Because if it's one question, then pretty much you can skip all of these things, really. And then once I say the question, if it was too easy of a question or a question that you just type into Google, boom, you win. So what I'm going to do is it's going to be 6 questions, one for every week. And I'm going to give you a clue that relates to it on each one. And today's clue, where do I want to start here? Okay, I will say today's clue is Malaga, Spain. That's your clue for today. Malaga, Spain. If you don't like wet feet, don't step in mud. Yeah, that's why I don't do that. I typically don't give my opinion on any of this stuff because I mean, what I don't know. I don't see the benefit of doing it as far as I feel like if you actually want to make a change with anything, whatever the group or the cause is, just posting about it on social media or changing your profile picture or saying the right things outwardly, that doesn't do a damn thing. The way to make change in life, is to actually do it. And more often than not, the people that don't advertise they're doing it too, on top of doing it to begin with, they're the ones that are actually making a difference. But that's just my life experience and these 38 years of being on this crazy little ball that we're all on together. Yes, I want companies to sell me stuff too, and I don't want companies to tell me that I am not their target market or whatever. It's just weird. Hey Juan, how's it going? I know I'm waving. I'm waving to my monitor like you can see it when I wave this way. But again, today's clue is Malaga, Spain. And if you follow the channel, you might have an idea where that's going, and it's not the football club. They are shit. They are shit. So, all right. Let me see. There's one other thing I saw. Somebody tried to DDoS my website too. I really made those people mad with this Tom DeLonge guitar. Like I had no idea it was gonna be this serious, guys. It's a Tom DeLonge guitar. It's like the cheapest guitar that I've bought to resell pretty much ever, and it's just so much heat. And another one came up for sale because I always look at San Diego's Craigslist too, because I got friends out there, and if there's something that good, then I'll pay them to ship me the guitar. And there was a blue Tom DeLonge that literally looks like it was dragged behind a car. It's hideous. It looks like it fell into acid in the back of it too. Let me see if it's still up there. I'll show you the back of the guitar on the stream. But the guy wants I think $1,500 for that. I laughed. Don't tell me he sold it. You gotta be kidding me if he sold that guitar. No, he didn't. All right, let me see. All right. Save that. I did figure out how to work OBS a little bit better, whereas I can put in images and kind of show you guys in real time. All right, so we'll add a new one. Boom. Image one. Let me see. You got to see the back of this guitar. How does this happen to a guitar? How does that happen? That's a real question. It looks like he kind of almost tried to relic or satin off the urethane to give it a different kind of feel to it. And then, yeah, a major spill or something happened to that guy. But still wants top dollar. But I'm sure that guy's not going to get abused online. Yeah, it's just crazy. It's just absolutely crazy to me. So what do you think? Would you spend over $1,000 for something that beat up? What do you think? And again, yeah, I'm with you, Rowan. How does that happen? I mean, clearly he sanded down the finish here a little bit. It had to have been, because if you look at it, you can see the perforation of it looks more like satin than urethane because grab the one. Yeah, it's typical Mexican Strat. It's got a poly finish. So it had to have been sanded down. It had to have been worked on to some capacity, and then the actual spills itself that are on it, I got no idea. I have played guitars in the dirtiest of nightclubs, the most heinous bars, terrible conditions, and I've never seen a guitar get damaged like that. And I've never done anything like that to a guitar, even with beer. Like I've had beer spill on guitars. That doesn't happen. So I don't know what the guy did, but clearly screwed up. And apparently, even with that screw up, doesn't do anything to the value because the guy still wants a fortune for it. But I'm the bad guy for trying to sell a mint one for less than the lowest one on Reverb. Yeah, wild, absolutely wild. Stomach acid. It kind of looks like some sort of acid, doesn't it? Because it's like it looks like almost. Yeah, I'm gonna bring it up one more time. We're gonna investigate this together, you guys. All right. Okay, so if we look here, the grayish kind of stains, that might be a liquid of some sort. But then, how do you explain like the white? I don't know. How does this happen? What did he do? If there's anybody out there, I highly doubt this because of how horrible and mean I am to relic guitars, but if there are any of you out there that are into relic guitars, if you can decipher how this happened and why this person would do this, I would be in your debt. So again, no idea, you guys. No idea. But still top dollar. Wild. I'm looking at the rest of it. Oh, even the side. Yeah, I got to show you that too. Oh, man. That's rough. All right. So let's browse. Yes. Yep. This has to be a relic because that's not a spill at that point. Because if it was a spill, it would have just stayed on the back. This goes all the way up to the top of the body. Why? Why do people do these things to guitars? Why would you do that? It's a lovely little Daphne blue. Not anymore, it's not. Not anymore, that's not Daphne blue. I don't know what the hell that guy did. But yeah, $1,500. You can have that Tom DeLonge guitar. At least you don't have to pay. He won't have to pay the reverb fees, which are like 8% now. It's wild. It's wild. I will stand by that Reverb is still probably the best place that you can buy instruments online, outside of the fact you have to pay sales tax. Because for the buyer, Reverb is awesome. There's no way around it. You have so much available at your fingertips. You have a lot of ways to kind of negotiate with people. But as the seller, oh man, it sucks. It sucks. I think really the best one would be to just do like the 3.5% on eBay. I think that's fair. I think 3.5% of that kind of a thing is okay because really, what are they doing outside of hosting it? They're not actually helping anything, like they're kind of the shop window for people to look in, and we're getting closer and closer to almost 10%, and I expect we'll get to 10% at some point for the reverb fees as the seller. It's tough to justify it, and people are gonna have to do what I do as far as opening up their own little shop and hoping people will go there to buy it, because at least then you can get a better deal as the buyer too, because you don't have to pay the sales tax. You can have it non-exempt as long as you're not selling it as a business. If it's a personal sale, you don't have to charge sales tax for that. So you could buy a guitar for a few $100s less. The person gets to keep more of the money. The billion-dollar corporation Etsy doesn't get their cut, but the buyer and the seller, they make out better. I don't know. You're breaking your own rule. What did you order? You ordered something from the Netherlands? Is it a Fender Japan guitar? Well, no, you said it's relic. It can't be. I almost ordered a guitar from the Netherlands 4 months ago. They had a Sherwood Green Fender Special Run thin line Telecaster with TV Jones pickups in it. Oh, it was gorgeous. It was a gorgeous guitar. But I thought it was a little too gaudy because it had gold as the hardware. Let me see if I can find it. FSR Sherwood Green Japan Telecaster thin line. See how fast we can do this here. Oh, yeah, that's a beaut. All right, so let's save. open. Now we can go into OBS and I will show you guys this guitar. You can have a look for yourselves. All right. But yeah, this guitar was only for sale in the Netherlands. I couldn't find any even in Japan. Let me make this a little smaller. But it even had the block inlays. Yeah. That's a pretty guitar. That was a pretty guitar. They wanted $1,700 for it. And at the end of the day, I couldn't do it. Because if you don't know, if you don't normally order from overseas, you're not just paying the $1,700. You're going to pay an import tax on top of it. So really it's going to be closer to $2,000. Yeah, actually that one I think it would come out to like 1870, 1880. I deal with too many guitars. I do this too much. That's how I know. But yeah, that one I almost bought from the Netherlands. So what did you? An Oswald. Oh, you got to you Sherwood Green as well. Is it 3 singles, or do you do single humbucker? I could see you as a single humbucker guy. That would make sense to me. I don't know why. Yeah, send me tag me on Instagram with it. I'll have a look. And again, if you're just tuning in, I know Jason was too. Today's clue is Malaga, Spain, for the guitar giveaway. I would write that down, especially if you're not familiar with that region or anything like that. But that will be important information to know if you want to try and win a free guitar. This will all make sense in the end, I promise. But it's tough to do that, like I said, because, you don't want to give it away. You don't want to have it just be one question that's so easy, because you just Google it real quick and cheat, and it makes all this for nothing. So, gotta somewhat make it a little bit difficult. You gotta earn it a little bit. If you're gonna get a free guitar, you should have to do something for it, especially if you're not costing you any money. That's just my take on the situation. All right. I wanted to ask you guys, have any of you played, or owned, not played, have any of you owned a Friedman amp? One of my friends just got a Friedman amp, one of the JJs, and he works on amps. So the first thing that he wanted to do was he was going to obviously replace the tubes. And he sent me some pictures of the internals, like brand new from Friedman. Oh, man. It doesn't look like it was put together with the highest quality components or even like sealed right. They use like this weird silicone to put the power supply adapter like in the place, and silicone in a few other places where it's just not conventional, especially for amps of that price point. So I'm just curious to see if his is maybe a one-off, or if that's really how they ship amps. Because if it is, I don't know. I was actually thinking about getting one of the PT20s, because I think the Pink Taco sounds so good. But yeah, you have to consider nowadays, especially, you want stuff that's gonna to last the long run. And if you're working with PCB board amps, you want the other stuff to at least be of decent quality. So if there is a problem, it won't be the biggest pain in the butt to fix all of it. So I don't know anybody else that has had a Friedman in real life and that has taken it apart for sure. But if any of you do have a Friedman amp, if you get a few seconds, just unscrew the top of the chassis. You don't have to take the whole thing apart. Just unscrew the top. It'll come right off, and you'll be able to see pretty much what I was talking about there. No, don't rule yourself out. Don't rule yourself out. You never know. Some of these questions will have to do with England, so you're already getting an advantage here. All right, let me see. Oh, you dirty bird. That is somewhat relict. It's a disgrace. You should feel ashamed of yourself. But I like the tortoise guard on that guitar, though. I had a Sherwood Green Strat that I sold from Japan a while ago. Let me see. I always thought I would love that color until I got it, and then in person it just didn't do it for me. Let me see. Sherwood. And as another thing that was really funny, Somebody offered me 3 tires and a tire pump for the Harley Benton guitar locally. 3 tires, 17-inch with 17-inch hubcaps on them. 3 tires. Welcome to Florida, buddy. Welcome to Florida. Did I not sell that guitar on here? Oh, maybe I didn't. Maybe I sold it on my website. Oh well. Yeah, I just when I heard that about the Freeman, that's kind of concerning because that's not a cheap amp. I think that what is that like 16.99, 15.99? I'm not sure off the top of my head. I know it's at least $1,500 for that Friedman. And man, I and that's the thing. These companies are going to cut costs somewhere. It's just once you start getting into mass production, it's inevitable. They're going to want to try and do it, and they're going to want to try and maximize profits. But there's some things that as people that play these things and people that when you spend like $1,500 on a piece of gear, like that's nothing to sneeze at. And I think the fact that we're so used to seeing these prices, we're kind of like dumbed down to it. But if you tell the average person that, like you're going to spend $1,500 on this thing and it might not be good in like 3 years, maybe, and there might not be somebody around that knows how to fix it, that's not the best. You bought my guitar? This guy's the worst. This guy's the worst. I sold his friend my 62 reissue Strat, the Surf Green one, and now he bought my Jazzmaster. Let me go get it. I'll show you the bridge that's on it. So, is it a Mastery bridge? Nope. Oh, I got the bridge cover on it. Stupid me. Just a Mustang bridge. All you want to do for this guitar, you don't need to throw a Mastery on the American Vintage. This is a fantastic guitar. You don't need to do that. You can get away with the stock bridge on that, but the thing is, when you're setting it up, this is something that a lot of people do. I don't know if you could see it. I even have a little bit of painter's tape. See that blue? So that the post won't move as much in it. But you want to make sure that the bridge is high enough so that there's a decent break angle going down. That is going to be the key. Whether or not you use light gauge strings or whether or not you use the stock bridge or a Mustang bridge or a Mastery bridge, whatever, you have to have that break angle. On the Mastery bridge, it's not as big of a deal. It's going to sit in better. But if I were you, I wouldn't rush out to replace the stock bridge. Knowing now, having all this experience with offsets, especially, the Jazz Masters, I've been through probably 6 different kinds of bridges on this guitar, and I'm right back to the Mustang bridge. I was actually debating going back to the stock one, and I don't know, the Mastery's good. It's just so much money, and it does make the trem feel different. It really does. This one, it feels so much smoother and more fluid with use, whereas the one that's on the Jaguar has a Mastery bridge, feels a bit tighter, not as kind of flowy as this guitar does. But you don't need to rush out and replace the bridge. Just take the time to make sure that you're going to get the right break angle. Again, just raise it up a little bit, you're good. And if you're having bad string action right around here, because this is where you're going to have it on this guitar, if you're having it right around here, throw in a .5 shim or a business card, you're good to go. But congratulations. It is a great guitar. I was I'm making a joke when I'm saying you bought the same guitar as me, but I mean, these are rare. And if you got one in the gold too, awesome. Really cool. Yeah, and the only other thing I would say, don't go lower than 10s. I don't know what kind of string gauge you play, but if you want to throw 9s on it, then I would seriously consider a different bridge. That's where it's kind of the tipping point, because that original bridge was designed to be running bigger gauge strings on it. The weirdest trade offer ever. I got offered a goat once. Yeah, When I was in San Diego, there was a guy north in a place called Encinitas, and he was like kind of a little bit off the beaten path off there, kind of on his farm area. And he offered me a goat for a Les Paul, and I had no interest for taking in a goat. So that ended pretty abruptly. I was like, no, thank you. I don't need a goat. And he just never responded back. Outside of that, no, I've been offered motorcycles, bicycles, free food. The food one's weird though, because you know how much free food you'd have to give somebody to get like $1,000 guitar? That's a lot of free food. I don't know. I wonder if that's ever worked before. I wonder if anybody's ever been able to trade food for a guitar. I don't know. See, now you got my head. My head's going all over the place. I think that would be where I draw the line. I think you're at a real serious problem in your life where you'd be willing to take food in exchange for, a decently priced instrument. I think that you should probably be selling your instruments anyways if you're willing to do that trade. Where did you get the guitar, Tyler? Did you buy it on Reverb, or did you buy it locally? Well, no, you didn't buy it locally. You ordered it. And how much did you pay for it, if you don't mind me asking? You give me like a range. Because I'm guessing if it's in a little worse shape than mine is in, 18? 1,800? That'd be my guess. Be a pretty decent deal. I saw one of the turquoise ones. Oh, the 65 reissues. But those were more produced than the Aztec Golds. That one was, I think, $18.99 on Reverb a few days ago. Let's see if it's still there. 65 Jazzmaster. And this is genuinely pretty much all I do all day. Like, when my kid's not here, I'm just constantly scrounging around for deals. Holy crap, these went up in money. Jesus Christ. My Jazzmaster is a $2,500 guitar now? When did that happen? Chicago Music Exchange, of course it is. It looks like it has a mastery on it, though. That's a beaut. That's in good shape. That's like mint. Okay. Okay, my guitar is not worth that. I will show you guys. Copy image address, boom, boom. And if you are so interested, this guitar is on Reverb right now. So let's go ding ding, browse. All right. Yeah, that's like mint. I will leave the link to that guitar should you guys want to check it out. Post it in the chat. Thanks, James, man. Take it easy, guys. Well, take it easy, James. The rest of you can stay. A lower price Jazzmaster. Define lower price. I need a range. Because there's a few ways you could go about this. There are a few ways you could do this. But also depends if you want more vintage or more modern as far as the neck goes and stuff like that. Look at that! $17.99. I hit it right on the head with $1,800. Actually, if that's Price is Right, wouldn't I lose? Because I would have been over by $1. Under $1,000? You could do it for under $1,000. I'd build one. I wouldn't think twice about it. I'd build one. I could build you an awesome Jazzmaster for under $1,000. I'm positive. And it would smoke anything you could get new from Fender. It would smoke it. Wouldn't be a fair fight. I'll mock up a few. If you want to leave me your email, just DM me your email on Instagram. I'll price out some stuff and I'll show you how you could do it on your own, and you'd save a lot of money. I'll show you where I get some of my Jazzmaster parts. But there are deals to be out there. There are deals to be out there to do all this stuff. I was thinking one of the guitars that I'm going to be building, one of the first ones is going to be a thin line Jazzmaster. That's going to be fun. I think that'll sound really interesting. It's going to have actual P90s in it, not Jazzmaster pickups. The Jazzmaster trem, because I love the trem. The trem to me is like the selling point of the guitar. It's so good. But I think P90s will give it a little bit more girth. And then if it has the thin line to it, it'll really, really sound like a much fuller instrument and have a better resonance to it. So that's going to be one of the guitars I'm going to build. Thin line Jazzmaster. That'll be fun. But yeah, you could build one. For under $1,000, your only options at that point, if you wanted to not have to do that, you could do a used classic player. That has a 9.5-inch radius though, and it has a two-pneumatic bridge. Or you could do a Vintera, but you're dealing with a Pal Ferro fretboard, nut that immediately needs to go, and pretty mediocre pickups, if we're being honest here. So, ones that are rare, they're hard to find. They made a surf green one. When I was talking about the Fiesta Red Jaguar I had a few weeks ago. The Jazzmaster version of that came in surf green. That came with a hard shell case. That came with American Electronics too, and a nitro finish. And I've seen them around that price, around $1,000. That's I'd go for that all day over a Vintera. And then the Japanese stuff, you're just going to get priced out. There's no way. You're not getting a Japanese Jazzmaster for that. And if you are, it is 100% going to be three-tone sunburst. I can guarantee you that. Those are hard to find, and offsets are so popular. They're so popular. Used to be able to not even give those things away. And now, it's just they go like crazy. You get an offset in a custom color, you get top dollar for it, like pretty much immediately. It's just the way the world is. But if you got Tyler, if you got that for $1,800, like I said, that's a good price. Yeah, that Chicago Music Exchange one though. What did this guy? Oh no, guys! Oh no! What has he done to this guitar? Why did you do that? I have to see what this. What? Can anyone explain this to me? I'm gonna link this. I don't know what's going on here. Maybe you guys will know what's going on. Will you guys click on that link for me and have a look at the odd mustache looking thing that's connected to one of the bridge posts, it appears? I don't know what's going on with it. I see lots of offset guitars. I deal with lots of Jazzmasters. I've yet to see that. So if anyone could explain to me what the hell that is, that would be awesome. Only have one of those guitars that come in a kit for beginners. Which one is it? Because there's a lot of cheaper guitars that are pretty good. They've come a long way. The only time I've been really disappointed with a cheap guitar recently was that Grote. That thing was a piece of junk. That was a worst guitar. That was one of the worst guitars I've ever played. And it's $100, and it got here in 2 days from Amazon. But still, oh man, if I was a new player and I got that, don't think I'd stick with the instrument. I'll say that much. All right. Let me just edit real quick. Okay. Oh, you got a Yamaha. Those are awesome. Yamaha's probably the best budget brand you can get from a Japanese maker. Their acoustics are really good too. I think the entry level ones are the FGs. Those are really solid, and you can get one of those for under $200. Those are very, very, very good acoustic guitars. And I love the Pacificas, the Yamaha Pacificas. They're solid. And for people that don't want to deal with not trying a guitar first, because in America you're not going to get to try Harley Benton. You're just not. So you can try a Pacifica. There's a lot of shops that will that will have those, and those are decent. Those are definitely better than the Squire Affinities for my money, and they're around the same price. That's just me. No, I like Yamaha. I was looking at a Yamaha. I almost purchased it. I still might. It's a vintage Yamaha. I think it's a 1978. It's a 335 copy. It's called the Super X, but looks pretty cool. And I wanted to do a video about kind of like the vintage guitar and amp setup on a budget. And obviously I have the Music Man, which you can get those pretty cheap. They're not that expensive. And then there's another one like those old Gibsons, those little 5-watt Gibson amps, the vintage ones. They're not bad. And they're only a few $100. I just think that there's so many other options, but people, they want to have a blackface Princeton or a blackface Twin or a Silverface, and they want the brand name or the Marshall. And you're going to pay out of your butt for one of those. But I think that there's a lot of other cool vintage options out there that are still reasonably priced. Reasonably priced. If you had gotten into this game like 10 years ago, the stuff that you could have gotten from Japan, the Japanese Les Pauls, they've gone up like double in price at minimum in most cases. Those are, to this day, they're better than a lot of the stuff Gibson puts out now. And it's cheaper, but you have to play it sight unseen. Or you have to buy it sight unseen, and that's intimidating for people. Let me see, is that it? I'm looking for this Yamaha. I'm going to show you guys. This is a 1978 that I was looking at in Shibuya, Japan. Looks like it's in great shape. Okay, got it. Let's load it up and I will show you people. Hello from Indy. What's up, Robster? How is it going? Oh my God, I left that up the whole time. I'm so sorry. That was a mistake. My bad. You guys are just staring at a Jazzmaster. Why didn't anybody say anything? What's wrong with you people? But that. I was looking at one of these. It's a very, very good condition guitar, considering it's 40 years old. Yeah, over 40 years old. So, I was looking at one of those. Yamahas. All right. Hey, David, how's it going? And for the people that are new and just catching up, I'm going to repeat it again. Today's clue is Malaga, Spain. Malaga, Spain. That is today's clue for the guitar contest giveaway. I feel like a radio DJ repeating myself every 10 minutes. But I want everybody to have a fair shake. And anybody that's, going to tune into this live, while they're watching it, they should at least hear me say it. You shouldn't have to rewatch the whole stream to hear the clue. I'm not just going to say it once. But I don't know. I'm curious to see whoever does win this guitar, which one they're going to pick. And I'm also open to if they want whoever does win this guitar, if they want something different or maybe a different brand, maybe they don't want a Harley Benton. Trying to see what other options are available because I'm not hard set. Like I don't get paid for this. I don't get deals from any of these companies. It's all out of my own pocket. So if I can do something to help somebody a little bit more within reason, I'd rather it be, that kind of way than, just forcing something onto somebody. I'm forcing you to get a free guitar. Sound like an asshole. Sorry. But can any of you answer my question about that Jazzmaster with the mustache? In case you didn't click the link, I am going to post that on here because I've never seen that before. Looks so strange. So strange. Okay, boom, boom. Mr. Mustache. Uh-oh. There we go. What is that? What on earth is that, guys? It's weird. And that guy wants $3,000 for that guitar. It's beating the hell. It's in worse shape than my gold Jazzmaster is. 3 grand. Market's nuts. But I mean, you can't blame them. I was talking about Mike and Mike's, the guitar bar, and they get a lot of offsets in. They get a lot of Japanese stuff too. They kind of like. I don't think they realize how much influence they have because they have so much stock. They're kind of like really inflating the American vintage market, like big time, especially on Telecasters and Strats that don't come in the conventional colors as far as candy apple red or black or white. They're like 3 grand now. 62 reissues are 3 grand, which is crazy. And we're not talking about like the early ones, like the one I had, the 62 in the surf green that was all original. Like that's like a collector's guitar. That's a vintage guitar. That's a nice one-off almost instrument. And we're talking ones that are made in 2004, 2005, 2006, so on and so forth. $3,000. Market's going to hell, man. But I think the problem is, as long as people are eventually paying those prices for the guitars, that's kind of going to establish what they're worth. And then if you're somebody like me, right, and you get in a guitar like that, or you have the opportunity to buy a guitar like that, say I saw Ocean Turquoise Telecaster, a 62 reissue. I see it locally for $1,700. If I'm thinking this is a year ago, maybe I'll get 22 for it. So if I sell it on Reverb, I lose 7.7% off the top of that, and then I got to pay anywhere from $50 to $100 to ship it. Maybe I take home, $150 to $200. Is that worth my time and all that money up front? That's debatable. But if I see that a place like Mike and Mike's sells that exact guitar for $3,000 and I can verify that that's what it was bought for, all of a sudden it goes from me being like, maybe I won't take a punt on this and try and make some money to I have to buy that because I'm going to clear $1,000 in profit. And a lot of people don't keep up with the market. They don't go on a Reverb. They don't check all these shops to see where things are currently sitting at. So it's a good opportunity for people that want to doing the work like I do and really shop around locally. And, you pay cash for something. You save yourself the tax. And then you can resell it for what the current crazy market is going for. But it's part of the problem. And I realize, what I do is kind of part of the problem as well. But I feel like if I can still give somebody a better deal than they're going to get somewhere else, then me making some money on top of that, that's not hurting anybody. That's just kind of how I'm looking at things, guys. I'm a little too brutally honest with this stuff. I realize that I should keep some trade secrets a secret. And I was like, how did this get here? But I took it off the Jazzmaster. Let me put it back. Oh, I did something I hadn't done before. You guys want to play a quick game? So I've been playing this guitar like nonstop ever since I put the pickups in it. This has been the guitar that I cannot put down. I will... How do I do this? Let me see if I can do this real quick. Can I do one set of Ernie Ball strings? Ernie Ball Slinky. Can I do it? I'm going to do it. I'm going to give something away right now. You got to win it, though. Here's how you do it. This is easy. There is no knowledge needed. There's no trivia. There's no anything like that. This is just going to be a straight up, the first person to guess this correctly, I'm going to send you a set of Ernie Balls. The question is, how much? You got to get this exactly right. This is an even number. I will say that because I did weigh it, and I will prove it after if you don't believe me. How much does this guitar weigh? How much does it weigh? First person to guess the correct weight of this guitar, I will send you a set of strings for free. 9.6 pounds. I'd have a broken back. You got to get it exact. If this was 7 pounds, oh man. If this was 7 pounds, I'd consider selling the 339. But 9.6 is it's not a bad guess for a Les Paul style guitar. Most standards are about that. No. All right, I'm going to give you one more minute. You guys got one more minute. You can keep spamming guesses. I don't care. Just don't do it, like 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. You can all have one more shot at this. Cuz I was pretty surprised. Oh, so you're getting closer. You guys are getting closer. First number's right. Nope. 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 You gotta hurry. You gotta hurry. Oh, Tyler's so close. He's so close. It's not a 7. All right. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Oh, he's so close too. He won. Tyler got it. It is 8.3 pounds. 8.3 pounds. All right. So I'll send you a set of strings. Hold on. Let me make sure here. Yep. Right on the dot. I'll show you. Just so you know, I'm not making it up. Let me see. Is that so? 8.3. All right. Let's set this guy back up. And you know what? That gives me a really good idea. Every week, we're going to go through one of the guitars. And we're going to play this game. And the winner every week on one of these streams get a free set of strings. So that's easy, guys. That's easy. Not going to be a problem. All right. Tyler, you got me on Instagram. Just shoot me a message. I'll send them over to you. But that would be fun. I feel like some of these, I want to keep doing this, but I don't want to go broke. We'll do one every week. But yeah, I was really surprised. I thought it would be a bit heavier than that. But no, it's not. It's not at all. Okay, we'll do one more bonus one for fun. Just for fun here, because I'm not going to have this guitar next week. How much do you guys think the green one weighs? I haven't weighed it. The green McCarty 594. I don't know. This feels a lot lighter. This feels a bit lighter. Huh. Let's see. Uh-oh. Okay. Oh. Okay. $7.8. Jason, I'm going to give it to you because you were within .02. It was 7.86 pounds. That was close. Yeah, that was actually not as light as I thought it was going to be. It feels lighter in your hand. Maybe it's because of the headstock or just the less weight kind of towards the top of the horn there. But yeah, that felt a bit lighter. I'm surprised by that. But yeah, we're going to be getting rid of this guitar, so you can all say goodbye to it. We're going to send it back. But all I'm going to do is I am going to take out the the 5708s before I send it back. I'll put the stock pickups back in it, and then I'll sell the 5708s because now I don't need them. So. But before we go, I always like to open up if there's any other things you'd like to hit on before we get going on our way, because I have that little mutt, that little doggy, who I will go grab. Well, if you guys want to type anything, I'm going to grab him real quick because he is lonely and he wants to go outside and play because he's a dog. Hold on. Casey. Casey. All right. All right. So, you want to say hi to everybody? Huh? No? You just tired? Nah. Dog breath. What do you think of harmonies could do guitar lines? I really like the comment. The only thing that scares me is I want to hold one in person because they're small. They're really small looking in the videos that I've seen. But if it's like the size of like almost like a telly, I think I'd seriously consider buying one of those. I think you get a lot of for your money with those harmonies because those are set necks too, and they're pretty light and they're definitely unique. I saw the hollow bodies they make. Pretty cool guitar. Are pretty cool guitar too. Yeah. My hand is fine. The dog's leg is fine too. It ain't broken. He's a tough guy. He tries to eat everything though, which is expected. But he's a little troublemaker, aren't you, bud? You tired? You tired from sitting in your little air-conditioned space there while Papa does some work? Yeah, I figured. But yeah, no, the thumb healed up all the way. I just was not able to play. It's not gonna focus. I wasn't able to play for like 4 or 5 days. I haven't dug into my hand like that in years. I haven't had a substantial injury where I wasn't able to play. But we're doing okay. Doing okay. So, all right. All right, cool. Now, he might fall asleep right here. So, you can't even see him anymore. Yeah, little guy. But, Peluche. 12 years old. Yeah. My parents' dog they had two. And one of them just had to get put down. He was only like 5 too. They found out he had cancer. He's just like kept collapsing. And yeah, they just had to put him down like pretty much straight away. So they have one little yap dog left, but they had a big old guy and he ain't with us no more. That's pretty sad. And then when I bought this guy, he looked kind of similar as far as like just being like kind of like a shaggy looking dog, and my sister like couldn't even like be around him because she's getting all emotional and stuff like that. So it's kind of sad. You don't want to hear about stuff like that. I like dogs though, as long as they're not yappy. I don't like yappy dogs. I can't do that. I dated and lived with a girl when I lived in Orlando, like 10 years ago. She had 2 Pomeranians. She had 2 Pomeranians. Guys, if you meet a girl that has Pomeranians, run. Just run. Don't do it to yourself. But if you get a dog like a border collie, like border collies they're smart and cool. Like they're chill. They're actually fun dogs. And I originally thought I was gonna get when I did get a dog, I wasn't planning on buying this dog. I bought it on my daughter's birthday. But I thought I would get like a Shiba Inu, because they're like medium sized and they're super well behaved and good loyal dogs. But yeah. Is my stream like lagging on repeat here? Because it keeps showing me with that green PRS on my end. If it's working for you guys, that's all I need to know. But I'm going to take little Ace here and he's not named after Ace Frehley. I have no idea where the name came from. I have no idea why I named him Ace. It just, when I first called him over, I called him Ace, and he ran right to me. So that was pretty much that. But that's going to be it for today's little stream. Remember, if you are just checking in or checking out, Malaga, Spain is your clue. Number 1. Tyler, I got you for a set of strings. Just hit me up. You got it. And remember, next week we're going to do the same thing. I will let you guys... No, I'm not going to tell you because then you're going to be able to think about it. We'll see what guitar it is next week. But we're going to play the same game. Whoever can guess the exact weight of that guitar will be the winner, and I will send you a set of strings. So until then, thanks for checking it out. Love hanging out with you guys. I will see you next week. I'm taking this guy for a walk. Take it easy.